Hello everybody, welcome to our very first recording of Reddit stories, and today I have a special guest. Since it's my very first video, I am here with Zach. You may hear him, hopefully. I am using a mic, but we did a little test and you can kind of hear him. He's like the voice of God in the background. We'll just have to speak up.
Hi.
All right. So if you're not familiar with Reddit has a little bit of everything, but one of my favorite subreddits is the Am I the A-hole Reddit. So we are gonna decide if this person is an a-hole or not. So our very first story is, am I the a-hole for telling my child no? And before I start, Reddit did decide that this person is not the a-hole, but we're gonna decide together and see. So, initial thoughts.
How do they decide if they are or not via Reddit?
Via the comments. So people comment on this post and the majority of the comments have decided that this person's not the a-hole.
Okay.
This is from 1 day ago. So this is brand new, hot story.
That's hot.
Top trending of
That's
Reddit.
hot.
Getcha knows all about it.
Okay, am I the a-hole for telling a child no? What do you think, Zach? Just based on the title?
No.
No?
No.
All right, let's go in. Recently at a school event, the teacher asked if a parent group I'm part of could provide cookies and cocoa. That sounds nice. I guess they're getting ready for Christmas or holidays. I thought it might be nice to also provide things to add to the cocoa. In this case, marshmallows, whipped cream, and sprinkles. That sounds really good. We did that last night. We had my parents over and my nephew, and we had a little hot cocoa bar. Okay, I had a child tell me that she doesn't drink cocoa and asked for a cup of whipped cream. Note, she and her friends were the first in line. As she ate the chocolate chip cookies, I'm fairly certain it wasn't an allergy to chocolate, just a preference not to drink cocoa. As soon as she asked, the 5 other kids wanted to just have a cup of whipped cream too. So I could see where this would end up. So I told her no, that I was sorry. I only have a limited supply of whipped cream. And if I told her yes, I'd have to let everyone do it too. And the people behind her in line wouldn't have the cream to add to their cocoa. That's a big issue. I offered her a cup to grab some water, but she stomped away mad. 5 minutes later, her mom came up and asked for a cup of whipped cream. And there was another immediate chorus of people wanting cups of whipped cream too. So I explained again about the whipped cream and the people in line. And the mom stomped away mad. A teacher who was attending the event with her child and not connected to the class or parent group, only add child in the class, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, came up and asked,
Only had a child?
Oh, only additional child in the class that came up to ask, maybe? I don't know. With the predictable round of me too, and I again explained as there is still a line out the door and down the hall, and only having a certain amount of whipped cream available. If I say yes to this child, I'll have to let everyone get cups of cream too. So I was sorry, but the answer is no. When this unconnected teacher caught me with my back turned, she took the whipped cream away and gave it to the child.
Oh, wow.
Which started to avalanche of folks wanting the same thing. So I kept having to say no, sorry, no for the next 45 minutes until everyone had made it through the line. I will say that we didn't end up running out, but the last person to use it got the very last bit out of the last can. So, am I the a-hole for saying no and for being mad at the person doing it anyway? That was pretty rude of the teacher to sneak behind the parent volunteer's back.
Yeah.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Grab it.
They were kind of the a-hole in this whole thing, if anybody.
The person who did the post isn't at fault. No. I would do the
No.
same because we weren't out. So.
Yeah, maybe just to play devil's advocate, one thing they could have done was tell the kid after everybody in line gets their hot cocoa and whipped cream, if there's any left, then yes, I could fill the cup with whipped cream. That could be like the only better thing they could have done, but...
Or half servings of whipped cream.
Yeah, or half a cup, I don't know. But if they were genuinely worried about running out of whipped cream, I think that would have been a good compromise. Like after everybody through the line has gone once, then maybe they could get a cup of whipped cream, but I don't think this person is the a-hole.
No.
Yeah, Zach doesn't think so either. Okay, let me read some of the comments. Not the A, but this would turn me off from ever volunteering for this stuff in the future. Same, I wouldn't want to deal with that. Especially considering there was over 100 kids. The teacher who asked you to just bring cocoa but not things to add it probably saw this coming. Okay, that's a really good point. So the commenter, they reminded us, the teacher asked the volunteer to only bring cocoa. Remember, she decided herself to add things to the cocoa. Here, like at the beginning, recently at a school event, the teacher asked if the parent group I'm part of could provide cookies and cocoa. I thought it might be nice to also provide things to add to the cocoa, marshmallows, whipped cream, and sprinkles. So she wasn't asked to bring this, so she kind of created her own problem. But I think she was trying to be extra nice, but she's definitely not the a-hole.
No.
But that was a good point. That's why I like reading the comments, because I totally forgot about that, to be honest. Let's see if anybody thinks she is the a-hole. Let me keep scrolling.
2,000 years later.
Well, one person said the teacher who asked you to just bring cocoa but not things to add to it probably saw this coming a mile away.
Oh,
so she kind of like, I don't know.
Walked into it?
She probably, yeah, she kind of walked into the situation, but she was trying to be extra nice. I just still can't get over that teacher went behind the volunteer's back and was just like, whoop, you know, for her own kid.
Yeah.
That's so silly. That seems kind of immature.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's saying not the a-hole, so I don't think we really have to worry.
Yeah, open close.
Yep, closed book. That's the end. All right, let's find the next story. Did you enjoy that one?
Yes, very intriguing.
Was it riveting?
It was riveting, my love.
I love listening to and reading these Reddit stories, so I'm bringing Zach into my world right now. So this is fun. By the way, he was scrolling, I think, Instagram while I was reading.
No.
What were you scrolling?
One of the dudes messaged me.
Oh, okay. You were texting. Okay.
Yeah.
No. All right, let's see. All right, guys, we're gonna start the next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend she doesn't need to be included in everything?
Snap, crackle, pop.
This one's actually really short. All right. This isn't that big of an issue, but lately it's just been starting to get on my nerves. It's been grinding my gears, as they say. That's not what's written, but
Stopping my stand.
for some context, I'm more of an introvert and my friend is quite an extrovert. And sometimes in group settings, she talks over me and almost ignores my presence when we're around other friends. I know someone like that. Or I knew somebody like that. Zach knows. All right, recently I participated in something without her after she bailed on me. Okay, so this friend has bailed on her before and she decided to do something else without her. Okay, along with some mutual friends, and I also made new friends there as well. After the event, we met up at a restaurant and for some reason she wanted to go too and invited herself. The tea. What would you do if someone randomly showed up at something you planned with other friends? You're pretty chill though.
I'd just probably act normal and then just like, in my friend group, not the hers.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
Okay.
They won't probably talk to her as much if they thought, well, this is a sheen of contents, but
yeah,
they're weird.
I feel like girls are more catty.
Most of my friends don't like people that like,
yeah,
are too talkative. So if someone randomly walks up and joins a friend group randomly, we'd just be like, okay, so back what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it'd be pretty open and closed.
So you'd kind of like ignore them?
No, just do what we normally do.
Just put them there?
Yeah.
Even though they showed up?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like if somebody randomly showed up and they weren't invited, I'd be like, oh, what a coincidence that we ran into you here, or something like that. I'd make it obvious that they weren't invited.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I'm more chill.
I don't know. I feel like girls are a little more catty.
Catty?
I don't know. I feel like, if I was genuinely bothered, but this situation has never happened to me, but if I was actually bothered, I'd be like, oh, what a coincidence we ran into you here.
If that person you're thinking of did this, is that what you're saying?
Oh my God. Okay, let's keep going. I would usually have no problem with this, but considering she bailed on me because she thought the event would be boring and now wanted to join us to celebrate it really pissed me off. Okay, so this is the event she originally bailed on. So she was invited, she uninvited herself, and now she showed up anyway. I guess because she was, what's the word? Not jealous, but like,
bored.
Not bored.
Catty?
There's a word for it, I don't know.
The word said earlier.
No, not catty. I guess she felt left out after she decided to bail. I feel like, okay, one thing you have to realize with these Reddit stories is I feel like people always, if you're writing something yourself and posting it on Am I the A-hole, you're obviously gonna make yourself look a lot better, because it's all from your perspective. Because she wrote her friend wasn't included, like she wasn't invited, but then she just said that her friend bailed on this. So she was invited and her friend disinvited herself, she bailed, and now she's going and now it's an issue? You see what I mean?
Yeah, she kind of worded it weirdly. Because it's like, I just did something without her after she bailed on me.
She was definitely a little tricky with the wording. See, they tend to make themselves sound better. All right, we're being little detectives. All right, let's keep on going. Then the other day, she found out I was in a group chat with the friends who I did the event with, and she said, can you all make one with me? I feel excluded. Okay, so that's what made her feel left out, is because they were invited to this. She was gonna go, and then she decided not to because she thought it was boring. But then when she found out there was a group chat for this said event, then she felt left out. Okay. Again, normally this wouldn't bother me, but she is in so many group chats without me, and I've never asked her to join them. I ended up telling her how I feel and that it's not fair that she wants to be included in everything I do when she excludes me almost all the time. Now I kind of regret it, but I just feel like she tries to overshadow me sometimes, but I didn't know if I'm looking too deep into this. You know what this reminds me of? Is like...
High school?
No, not even high school. It reminds me of like me with my older sister when I was like in elementary school, when she was like hanging out with her, like me and my sister have a really big age gap. There's about 10 years. So like when I was like 6 and she was 16, her hanging out with her like adult friends, I say adult, but like, I mean, to a 6-year-old, they feel like adults, even though they're 16, 17-ish. And me being like, I feel left out that you guys are, hanging out in the garage and I'm not there. Like, it feels very childish to me.
Yeah. I got you from that perspective of the friend, mostly, you're saying.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think this person is a-hole. I feel like that's a really strong word, but I think this person's just kind of maybe younger and a little
undermature.
I don't know. I don't want to say that. I don't know.
Well,
they just seem very young.
It's better than a-hole.
Yeah, I don't think they're an a-hole, but they just feel very young. And then also, like I pointed out with the wording earlier, it does kind of feel like they're trying to shift it to their side because they're the one writing it. You kind of agree?
Yeah, I feel like the friend has some self-esteem issues, the ones that constantly wants to be anything, so there's something probably behind the reason why she keeps trying to be in so many friend groups. Same time though, this person who's trying to do her own thing finally, She's probably trying to like, they're probably like graduating from middle school to high school.
Yeah,
And then-
they're definitely younger, it feels like.
Yeah, it feels like they're going to another grade, so they're trying to act more mature for their age because they're going to a different field.
Yeah.
And she feels like she's trying to make herself her own person more so, and she feels like this person is overstepping when maybe it's just a personality thing or something.
Yeah.
Could be both. Either
But
way.
I mean, they also said that she's hanging out with mutual friends. Like, they are all friends. So it does feel weird that she was purposely... No, wait, she wasn't even purposely excluded, because earlier it did say that she was invited, but then she bailed on it. But then when she found out there was a group chat, then she decided she wanted to be in.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even that the group was purposely excluding her. She excluded herself, and then she felt left out when there was a group chat.
Now my question is if she was dramatic when she bailed at first.
Well, I guess kind of, because she was saying, oh, I don't want to go because this event would be boring. That's what the Redditor said. Her friend literally said, like, oh, it's going to be boring. And that's what pissed off the Redditor. All right, let's see what the comments say. So one of the top rated comments is saying that her friend has main character syndrome with an unhealthy dose of FOMO. You are allowed, even encouraged, to have a life and friends independent of her, not the a-hole. Everybody's saying not the a-hole.
The friend or the shirt? Not the shirt.
The Redditor. The Redditor is not the a-hole.
Okay, you know.
But I do think, I don't know.
It's valid emotions, but there's probably reasons why that person acts that way.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I feel like a-hole is a really strong word. I mean, the Redditor though, like, I don't get why she is so pissed off. Because the person was originally invited. So she didn't just show up out of nowhere. She was originally invited, but then she decided she didn't want to go. So, I mean, I don't think the writer is an a-hole.
Get that part out.
Beep that out. But I don't think she should be like super upset unless there's more to the story. Because it's just like, she was invited. It's not like you had plans and she just showed up out of nowhere. She was originally invited, but then she bailed. So
This might be like the 10th event that caused this emotion to come out. It's not usually one reason to make her grumpy. It's usually a few reasons built up to cause someone to be this grumpy.
they compound.
Compound.
Here, okay, there's one about mansplaining. I know you hate that word. Can we do that one? Zach hates the word mansplaining.
Yeah, it's stupid.
All right, let's do this one.
Oh, that's a long one. How much more? Scroll down.
I don't normally post on Reddit, so please forgive me if I do this
You
wrong.
made the title.
Oh, thank you. No, I appreciate that. All right, am I the a-hole for not telling a man that the research he was mansplaining to me was my own? Love an educated queen. Zach's like, he hates the word mansplaining.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't normally post on Reddit, so please forgive me if I do this wrong. I feel like a lot of people start their Reddit posts off like that. Everyone's like, I don't normally do this, but here. Well, I guess, you know, that could be a good thing. That means not many people experience feeling like an a-hole. So I don't know what that could mean, but okay. I, 33 female, work in a very small technical space, male-dominated field. I won't give too much information on it as I think you could easily find my identity if I did. But let's just say it's a subcategory of law. I graduated 9 years ago. For anyone wondering, the system in my country is different than that in the US, so I only studied for 5 years, and I am now a lawyer as well as a researcher. I publish some work here and there, but nothing too major, and no one outside of that field knows my work. Yesterday, I went to a bar with a couple of friends who introduced me to one of their friends who work in the same field as me. I was pretty excited to meet him because it's rare to meet people who work in that field. He doesn't exactly do the same thing as I do. He's not a lawyer, but a legal advisor. But we work on the same topic, so naturally we started talking about work. At one point, we discussed a point on which we had different opinions. So I explained mine to him, and he replied by saying that opinion was based on nothing, while he was based on the work of a professional. You guessed it, me.
Ooh.
I guess he did not read it correctly. I don't know. Okay. He basically started explaining my work to me, but in a completely wrong way, and missed all of my points. I asked him if he was sure that was what the author meant, and he said that he was, because it was pretty simple actually. For another good 20 minutes, he explained all of it to me in detail, like I was a first-year law student. I didn't say anything because it was pretty funny. I think that's really funny too. All right, I didn't say anything because it was pretty funny to watch him say things that were completely wrong with so much confidence. I love that. That is so funny. Zach's rolling his eyes. What are your opinions so far? We still have 4 more paragraphs.
My opinion for this?
So far.
So,
what would you do? Sorry for cutting off, but what would you do if you went on a date with somebody?
Or hanging out with some
If you were hanging out with somebody and they read something that you also read, but they completely missed the point and they were like, you're wrong, but you wrote it. I don't know. Well, I feel like that's like such a out of the million thing. It's
like art. Do you go to the art museum to
That's a good point.
see the same thing? No, you go to the thing to see different points of view of the art.
Yeah.
You go to a piece of artwork, it's not going to be the same per person. So if you show it to someone, it's not going to be the same view. Based off that person's history and lifestyle, they know different things. So if you look at that art, it's a triangle. They're like, that looks like Doritos because they're hungry. And the next person comes up and be like, that looks like mathematics because they're a math major. It's different per the person's history and perspective. So you wouldn't think it's funny? Like if, Zach is actually a really good artist. So if somebody saw your artwork in a museum and was like, that means something completely different than what you thought it meant because you created it, you would just be intrigued. I'd be intrigued what their point of view is of my work. I'm like, I never thought about that way before because I drew it. I thought it looked like this. Even if it was dead wrong? Yeah. Like what if you drew... There's no right answer. I don't know. There's no right answer to anything. What if you drew like the Eiffel Tower and they're like, no, that's Carnegie Hall? I'd be like, I'm bad drawing. Oh, well, maybe she's a bad.
A few moments later.
Sorry guys, my camera has a time limit where it automatically turns off and we hit 30 minutes.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
All right. So let's keep on going. All right, after that, the topic changed and the night went on. But at the end of the night, right before leaving, I decided to tell him that I was actually the person that wrote the work he had quoted and that he hadn't really understood it. He reacted very badly and got angry, red flag, and he told me that I had manipulated him and humiliated him. That is a really strong reaction.
He's at the bar, they said though, right?
Yeah, so maybe he's a little tipsy.
Yeah, alcohol is probably enhancing his emotion.
Yeah.
And if he's in the research mind and he's explained his whole theory that he's really passionate about for his idea, I understand why he's being emotional because he feels like that he just got made fun of, though he's really interested enough to explain it for 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah. I see why he's a little butthurt, but you have to hold that in. If you're drinking, you're not holding it in. I know. But I was gonna say neither one of them are the a-hole, but at this point he is starting to show some red flags, in my opinion. If he does anything physically aggressive to any objects or people, then yes. But so far I think it's even ground. You think it's fine with his reaction? Yeah. I think he's acting like a little poo-poo baby. If alcohol's involved, he's gonna be acting like a poo-poo baby. Okay. He yelled at me for not saying it was my work at the beginning. You should never yell. I simply replied that he had embarrassed himself
and left. I woke up this morning from texts from my friends saying I was wrong for causing drama and tension and that I could have been nicer to their friend. I'm not sure if I'm in the wrong there. I mean, yes, I could have told him right away, but it's not a big deal that I didn't. I'm not exactly sure. Am I the a-hole? Edit, I forgot to make this clear, and maybe it's a bit of a misunderstanding, but both conversations happened only between the two of us. We were the only ones talking about our work, and our friends also weren't really there when I told him that I was an author, so it's not like I publicly humiliated him. The only thing embarrassing for him here is that a woman seemed smarter than him, and I think that's what he had an issue with. I don't like how she worded that.
Yeah, we're fine.
Because I don't think it's about that. I mean, I could see why he got angry if she maybe said that to him. Because if she's saying that now, maybe she also said that to him.
And it's not just based off of that. It's based off her reactions when he was talking about it too.
Yeah.
To play the advocate of the eviler thing here, per se.
Yeah, the red flag guy.
She could have been laughing the whole time at him, or like
marketing,
or she could have been nothing. She could have been patient. She could be very nice. Then, if so, he definitely overreacted.
Yeah.
But we don't know what he saw.
I mean, if she was like snickering the whole time and smiling and laughing, and if at the end of everything she was like, surprise, it's me, then I could totally see why he would think he was being humiliated by her and teased. Because I mean if she was just being very understanding and trying to have like a thought-provoking statement, or like what Zach was saying, she could have, instead of being like, oh, you got it completely wrong, she could have said, I didn't see that perspective. Like, that's an interesting perspective, you know? All right, there's one more edit. I've seen some comments claiming that this post was fake because that just doesn't happen. I've seen many other stories where the same thing happens, so that's not realistic. I'm not trying to justify anything, but I don't really care. But I just find it funny to see lots of comments from women sharing similar stories, and then lots of comments of men saying it doesn't happen.
Every situation is different.
Yeah.
So dudes are buttholes a lot of the time. But
dudes are buttholes most of the time?
Yeah, if they're at a bar drinking, he's
quote.
gonna be a butthole. Same time though, you never know the whole perspective. If they talked for 30 minutes and she didn't say anything and then she called his point of view stupid at the end, then yeah. And when he said that her point of view was wrong, I don't know the actual words he used. If he said that she was stupid off the beginning, then he deserved to be called stupid at the end too. But 30 minutes in, that's a long time to have someone talk to call him stupid.
Yeah, that's probably what made him feel stupid.
Yeah.
If she said something maybe after like a couple of minutes, then that would have been different. And he probably would have been really impressed by her. You know, yeah, that's a really good point. If she said it right off the bat, instead of them doing 30 minutes where she's like snickering to herself, it could have been 30 minutes of him being really impressed that he read a paper by her. I think he felt humiliated because she waited all that time. So he was so embarrassed all that time. That's a really good point, Zach.
Thank you.
All right. One commenter says, not the a-hole, and kudos to you for being so calm when he mansplained your own research. Question, did your friend also reprimand their friend for screaming at you? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He did yell at her. If he didn't yell at her in front of everybody, because I mean, that's him humiliating her in front of everyone in the bar.
Yeah.
Him yelling at her at the bar. If he didn't do that, I would say neither of them are the asshole. But considering he yelled and got like hyper aggressive, that's where it crossed the line of him being a little bit of the a-hole. But not a major a-hole, just a tiny a-hole.
Yeah, if alcohol's involved, he was a-hole.
Yeah. They said the answer's no. So yeah, her friends didn't even like stick up for her. They thought she was being an a-hole too. She needs better friends.
But if her friends think that she was the a-hole, and she's friends with both of them equally,
yeah,
then there's something that probably wasn't seen.
Yeah, and keep in mind, these are skewed. People are writing them because they're probably wanting people to say that they're not the a-hole. You wouldn't, if you really thought you were the a-hole, you wouldn't come to Reddit and write, hey, tell me I'm an a-hole because I think I'm the a-hole. You know, you're gonna write it in a way that skews it to like prove your point that you're not the a-hole. You know?
Plus, who knows how many days have passed? Memories change.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, everybody's saying not the a-hole. So I guess we disagree with Reddit?
Well, it depends on what actually happened.
Yeah, that's true. But we do kind of agree that she was somewhat of an a-hole too. For like, I mean, we don't know how she actually acted in the bar, but for the 30 minutes, if she was like snickering to herself and she was like, ooh, surprise, you're wrong. You know, I wrote it, then that'd be kind of like an a-hole thing. But if she was genuinely like keeping conversation and trying to like, you know, just have an educational conversation back and forth, that's different.
If he's outburst then he would be the a-hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even all the way at the bottom, people are saying not the a-hole. We're a little more devil's advocate over here, I guess. All right, well, that is all the time we have for today. It is game night for Zach, so he's gonna vamoose. But maybe we could do one more, just the two of us. Well, Zach games, because I know you wanted to get off at 8.
Sounds good.
Or did you want to do one more?
I have to get off.
Okay, Zach's gonna leave us, and it'll just be me and you. Ready, guys? Am I the a-hole for wearing white to a baby shower? My initial idea is no. I didn't know there was a dress code on baby showers. I know for weddings, white and red is a big no-no, but for baby showers, the last baby shower I went to, I think most people wore white or really, really light colors. A lot of people also wore pink and blues because, you know, displaying their team colors, who they think the baby is. But, all right, let's get into this story. Am I the a-hole for wearing white to a baby shower?
Yes.
Zach says yes. No, he's joking.
You're not supposed to wear white to the baby shower?
I don't know, I've never heard of that rule.
Oh, sorry.
All right, Zach came back for a quick comment.
I got water.
Oh, because he got water, so he took a gaming break. Okay, I, 29 female, have been friends, Claire, 28 female, since high school. She's been friends with Claire, 28 female, since high school. We have a small group of friends that has stayed close since then. Claire is pregnant and had her baby shower yesterday. I wore white and blue floral, sorry, second Zach leaves, I can't talk. I wore a white and blue floral sundress. I didn't think anything of it because as far as I know, white is the only inappropriate for bridal showers. That's what I thought too. I thought white was only inappropriate for that. I've never heard the no white for a baby shower rule. If you guys have heard that before, comment it down below. Maybe it's like a cultural thing, like a different culture. But let's continue. When I arrived at the shower, Claire's mood seemed to immediately sour and she was really cold towards me. Later, one of my friends pulled me aside and asked me to leave. She said that Claire was offended by my attention-seeking behavior and that it was inappropriate to wear white to Claire's event. I left. I'm super confused. Like I said, I thought the white rule only applied to bridal events. Our friends are refusing to take sides, but a couple have told me I should have apologized even if I don't think I'm wrong. Am I the a-hole? So I don't think she's the a-hole, especially since she left. She did exactly what the mom wanted, you know, because it was her event. Like if it's somebody else's event, you don't want to make a whole stink about it. Like if I went to an event and people were like, maybe you're not wearing the most appropriate thing, you should leave. And I know that the person who invited me wanted me to leave, I would just do it because it's not my event. I'm not gonna make a big deal, you know? So I would leave and then maybe talk to her later in private. Obviously not at the party because again, it's her party. You don't want to make a big scene, but maybe just explain later that you didn't realize that was a rule. And especially if there wasn't any color like on the invite, like, you know, some invites are like, please wear X, Y, and Z. If there wasn't that on the invite, and I also don't think that's a very known thing to wear white to a baby shower, I think it should be all fine. And especially after the fact, you know, you should explain yourself after, obviously not there, because again, you don't want to make a scene. But I don't think the person was the a-hole. She handled it pretty well. You know, the mom could just be like, I don't know, emotional, I guess, because everything going on. I don't know, or it could be a cultural thing that her friend just wasn't aware of. But let's see what the Redditors say. One person says, not the a-hole, that's not a thing. Are you sure the color of the dress was the issue? It seems nonsensical. All right, and the Redditor actually responded and said, I've been told it's about the dress, but I'm starting to think it's a body image thing. I'm not as thin as the rest of the girls in the group. Maybe Claire is upset that she is, for a very good reason, the big one right now. That's interesting. Could be, all right, another person responded to the Redditor. Could be, but it's not okay to take that out on you. Maybe after the situation cools a bit, you can talk to her and find out what's really going on in her head. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to guess. I feel like that's a very like out-of-pocket thing to guess. You know, for the Redditor to be like, well, maybe it's because of my weight. I'm sure there's more to the story. Maybe her friends have brought it up before, her weight, because otherwise it seems very out of pocket for her to be like, well, maybe it's because of my weight. So maybe she has good reason to think that. But based on the story, I feel like that's a weird thing to think. All right, somebody said, okay, so I don't consider female dress etiquette to be my area of expertise, but I think Claire's reaction is bad, extreme, insane. There's a huge amount of space in between. Don't wear something that looks like a wedding dress to a wedding unless you're a bride. And don't wear blue and white flowers to a baby shower unless you're the guest of honor. Edit, I forgot to say not the a-hole. If you want to apologize for upsetting her with your reasonable, appropriate actions, that's your call, but I don't think it's an obligation. I mean, if you're really close friends with this girl, I do think it'd be good to, you know, say something. That way there's understanding, and then maybe she might apologize to you too, because maybe something was going on in her life, and you just happened to be the sheep she took it out of. Took it out on. I don't think it's right, but if she's your friend, maybe you should talk to her just in case. But you're definitely not the a-hole, but you know, just for friendship's sake. Somebody said, I hope you took your present when you left. Claire is insane. And then the Redditor responded, the whole friend group went in on a snoo for her. What's a snoo? So I couldn't take it back. I brought a book to give her at the shower though, and I took it with me when I left. Unfortunately, I wrote a message to the baby in it, so I can't re-gift it. What's a snoo? Let me Google what a snoo is real fast. Oh, it's a really, 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 really expensive bassinet. They are $1,186. That is crazy. Why is it so expensive? Let's click onto it. Oh God, now I'm gonna get a bunch of like baby ads, I bet. But let's see what this snoo is. Me shopping? No, not for a long, long time. Let's see. What is a snoo? Let's click. Created by a renowned pediatrician, Dr. Harvey Karp, an MIT-trained engineer, snoo, quite simply, is a smarter and safer baby bed that can add 1 to 2 hours of sleep each night for babies. I need a snoo. I need to be put in a snoo. 1 to 6 month olds snoo, one of a kind, safe swallowing, gentle swaying, and all-night shushing, was designed to mimic the soothing sensations of the womb while it achieves baby's innate calming reflexes, or nature's off switch for crying and on switch for sleep. So does it like move? I guess it moves. Here's a little video. Such a silly little video. I think I actually have seen this before on TikTok. I don't know why. I guess because like I'm 25 now, I get a bunch of baby videos on TikTok, but I think I've seen this before. I need one though. That looks very comfy. But that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys want a second video, comment down below. But we'll see you guys later. Bye everybody. Have an amazing day.